Over 90% of British households invest in a major spring clean at least once a year, but many dread it. Well, my next guest has been busy helping families declutter with Stacey Sullivan on the award-winning show Sort Your Life Out.
I just get overwhelmed by how much is here. It's grown to the point that it's too much. I need help with it now.
Life turned upside down for all of them.
Lois was just still exhausted. She went to the doctors and that's when they found cancer and they said that it is stage 4.
I'm recovering from cancer myself and this all feels very, very close to home. But I just need to focus on the family and just make sure that this is the best possible makeover I can give them.
And Dilly Carter joins us now. It's such an incredible show, Dilly, because you can really see the difference it makes to people. There's an absolute correlation between having some form of order and your overall mental well-being.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the show does so much for so many people, not just in terms of clearing the clutter, but clearing their minds and in terms of what it does for how they feel after it. And I think even us as viewers watching it, even we get that satisfaction, don't we? We feel the weight lift off our shoulders. The difference it makes to people is just, it's unbelievable in so many ways.
It does, it makes a huge difference. How did this start for you, Dilly? Where did this sort of, the passion come from?
I mean, it's a funny thing, actually. I grew up in a really chaotic household, but unfortunately my mother suffered with bipolar health disorder for most of my life, and the house just went into disarray. And so I just realised that there was a lot in clearing and tidying and helping her. And in doing that, it lifted her mood, it made her feel better, it made the house better. And then, you know, it just made such a difference. And I realised, actually, I'm quite good at this. And this is something I could do as a profession, maybe. And back then, when I started, it wasn't a profession, you know. Professional organisers, it's such a new thing. And it's only now become huge. But when I did it, you know, 20 years ago, it was, no one knew what you were doing. They were like, you're doing what?
Yeah.
You want to go and sort people's houses out? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that? But I loved it because, you know, it's all I'd known growing up with.
Yeah, of course, exactly. So why is this a good time of the year to think about? We talk about the spring clean.
I think spring is that time when we just, you know, we want to open the windows, let the light in, let the light out, and just have a good sort out. Because, you know, we've been holed in, haven't we? We've been wrapped up in blankets, under duvets, and just tucked away. So now it's time to let the air in and let the air out.
Yes, and
Breathe.
it does. It breathe, that's exactly how it feels,
Yes,
doesn't it, when the
yeah.
house is in the way that you want it. It's the most satisfying feeling.
Isn't it?
So you're going to show us later on basically how to go through your entire house.
Absolutely. And we're going to start, actually, with your mattress. When did you last do your mattress?
Oh, well, do you know, weirdly, only recently, because I had to sort of wash the whole topper part of it.
Yes.
And I know there's lots of things we should be doing with our mattresses that we don't do.
Yes, absolutely. There
Yeah,
are
and
lots.
yes, so I did it hoovering basically and giving it a good clean, but there's lots of other bits, isn't there? It's
Yeah.
the thing that we forget about.
It is the thing we forget about, yet the thing we spend the most time on, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly right. You know I love this. I'm very much looking forward to this a little bit later on. Thanks so much. We will catch up. A professional organiser, Dilly Carter, is back, helping us get our homes ready for spring. This is the time to do it, isn't it, Dilly?
Absolutely. This is the time we want all the windows open, all the light in, and just have a good sort out, because we all need it, don't we? We've all been holding all winter. We just want a good sort.
Exactly. So where would you start? So you look at your whole house and you think, oh, and that actually is what puts a lot of people off. You don't know where to begin.
Absolutely. I think our bedrooms are the most important place. You think sleep is our most important commodity, isn't it? It's what we need the most of. And if our bedrooms aren't a relaxing place, if they're not looked after, then, you know, that's going to affect everything. You know, the way we get up in the morning, the way we go to bed at night. So let's focus on our mattress first. So my top 3 tips for our bedrooms. Number 1, vacuum your mattress. Now, this gets neglected a lot, but it's so important. You know, we've spent all winter in our beds. You know, we spend all year round, obviously, in our beds, but even more so in winter with the duvets on, you know, blankets on. So we need to give them a good clean, because there's
How
so much
often
dust.
would you do that, though?
Well, I would probably do it once a month if you can.
OK.
Absolutely, because, you know, it does, you know, the dust builds up. Think of all the skin that is in the mattress. It's a bit gross.
Yeah, it will.
So having a good vacuum of your mattress is really important. If you can do it once a month, great. Every 6 months, whatever. Rule of 3, you know, how many of us have so much bedding? So I would like to say that 1 on, one off, one spare is our guideline for how much bedding you should have. Now, obviously, if you've got kids that are maybe at bedwetting age, then you might have some more spare sets. But really, I know a lot of us do tend to have 20 spare duvets, 20 spare sets of bedding. So ideally, what we want to do is just try and reduce that amount. So if you go for the rule of 3, which is 1 on, 1 off, 1 spare, then it sort of gives you a guideline. Because if you know that you've got double that, then that's OK. But quadruple, maybe
really
it's too much.
Need, yes, and then the pillowcases all get mixed up.
Absolutely.
And it becomes a mess and a general shambles.
It's a general shambles.
Okay, great. I like that, yes.
Pack away winter duvets. You know, obviously now's the time when we don't need those 10.5 togs, do we? You need something a bit lighter. So if you can pack them away and vacuum pack them, then it just means that you're saving space and that, you know, you've now got your lighter spring duvet on.
I love those vacuum pack things. They're fantastic.
They're a game changer,
so
aren't
satisfying.
They? Absolutely. You know, just the hoovering, when you see it all disappear, it's so satisfying. So anything that you can pack away to save space is always going to be great because, you know, the aim of any decluttering is to create space, to make more space in our house, to make us feel lighter so that, you know, when we do open those doors and windows, everything just feels nicer, not like we're boxed in.
The kitchen's probably a room that most of us congregate in, though, isn't it? It's kind of the hub of most homes.
The hub of the house.
What would you say about the kitchen?
I think the best way to start with our kitchen, because obviously there's so much to do, isn't there, in a kitchen? There's so many cupboards. Again, my top 3 tips is, you know, number 1, start from the left-hand side and work your way round. So just start with one cupboard and say that's your food cupboard. Make sure that you pull everything out, check the dates. Whenever we pull anything out of a cupboard, we always want to group it. So make sure that, you know, all your tins are together, your pastas are together, your snacks, your breakfast items, whatever it is grouped. So that then you can create zones when you put everything back. So you might have all your breakfast containers on one shelf, you might have all your snacks on another, your chocolate on another. What we want is the kitchen to flow so that everyone can access things easily. So you're not getting that constant, where's this, where's that, how do I find things?
And everyone knows where it is too. That's the thing, isn't
and that's the most important.
No poking through stuff.
Absolutely. The most important thing about organisation is that not only you can find it, but everyone else in your family can. I mean, we can try, can't we? Not often it works, but we can try.
We can give it a good stuff, exactly, yes.
And of course, reusing containers is so important. You know, we get boxes through our doors, you know, from Amazon, all sorts of different places. We also have things like quality street tins, all sorts of old tins, coffee jars that we can use for pastas, pulses, grains, any of those things. So rather than always going out and thinking you need to buy new containers, try and reuse what you've got. That's important.
Of course, of course. So what about our bathrooms?
Our bathrooms.
Yeah.
Often a place that get a bit grubby, aren't they?
Well, grubby, a bit neglected possibly, but
grubby
essential.
And neglected and essential. But yeah, again, you know, when we're looking at our bathrooms, the most important thing is to, you know, we want that calm space, don't we? We want a lovely bathroom that we go in and we escape from everybody, sit in that bath and feel like we're just, you know, unwinding. We don't want bottles of chaos around us. We don't want products all over the bathroom sides. So when it comes to cleaning products, a lot of people keep a lot of cleaning products in their bathroom, which is just not necessary. You know, just think about the essentials that you might need by the toilet. It might just be a bleach. You know, when we think about cleaning products, only have 5 cleaning products in general. You know, maybe it's an antibac, a bleach, a fairy liquid. It might be a specialist cleaning product, but then that's really it. We don't need more than 5. Keep your windowsills clear is really important because so many of us block our windowsills with so many different products, we just can't see anything out. Can't see out the windowsill. So it's nice to have light, clear surfaces wherever we can.
Yeah, of course. OK, and then the living room.
And the living room.
Yeah, another hub, but it can get messy in there.
Well, I think the living room is one of those places that, you know, we like to go in there to relax, don't we? That should be the place where we switch off at the end of the night, we kick back, but often or not it's a place where all the toys are, sometimes there's piles of washing, there's all types of chaos that goes on in the living room. So again, you know, my top 3 tips would be get everything out that is bothering you and you think, right, I need to have a good sort out. Group what you can, reduce what you can, and then put it back. It might be that you haven't got enough storage. It might be that you've got too much storage. Look at what you've got in your front room and work out what could look neater so that I have got this lovely, calm space, so that I feel like when I do sit down in my living room at night, I feel relaxed. I'm not looking at piles of chaos. And the best way to do that is think, let me just start with 3 items, because often or not we can feel too overwhelmed by thinking, I need to declutter, I need to get everything out of my house. But if we just start with something small, 3 items, then that's a good way to start.
Unless you've 2 small children, they won't let you throw anything away.
Not even 3 Peppa Pigs.
Oh, my goodness, that's my issue. But yeah, you're quite right. And it is a process. Allow yourself the time to do it. It doesn't have to be done in an hour.
No,
You know.
absolutely. Just think of like small bite-sized challenges. But I think starting with just 3 things is nice and easy. If you can clear 3 things today, that's a good start.
It's a good start. Oh, you're just brilliant, Dilly. Thanks so much. Honestly,
Pleasure.
it's so fascinating. And I totally agree. You feel a better version of yourself when you've done it. It's
Always.
just great. Thank you so much, Dilly.